Good viewers. We want to continue from the previous videos. The video where we started talking about reproduction. This is Afia Ademola Johnson. We want to talk about human developmental phases. And the developmental phases, the stages at which human beings develop, they involve about 8 stages. First one is gametogenesis. Next one is ovulation. Next one is menstruation and menstrual cycle. Next one is fertilization, implantation, gestation, parturition, and lactation. So let's take them one by one. Let's talk about gametogenesis. Gametogenesis is the process of gamete formation, the process at which gamete will be formed. And there are 2 types of gametogenesis. The one that happens in man is called spermatogenesis, while the one that happens in female is called oogenesis. So then, what is spermatogenesis? Spermatogenesis is the formation of sperms, and it occurs in the testes of the male reproductive system. It begins with meiosis. We have to watch our videos to understand what is meiosis, the previous video we have done. So meiosis occurs in the cells of the seminiferous tubules, and daughter cells which later turn themselves to be sperms occur. Then we have about 300,000 sperms produced in every 72 hours. Sperm production is induced, is made to happen by a hormone called follicle stimulating hormone, that is FSH, which is secreted by the anterior pituitary gland. It's one of the gonadotropins that we have. You can learn that in hormones, a topic we have done before. Oogenesis. Oogenesis has to do with the formation of eggs, egg production, and it takes place inside the ovary or the female, like we had earlier said. And the formation of eggs starts when the child, when you as a mother, you were inside your own mother as a baby. That was when your egg formation has started. But it will involve only the first meiotic division. Then it will stop. Then the completed second meiotic division will take place after fertilization has taken place. And each of the ovary has about 500,000 potential eggs. Just take note of that. Then we also call menstrual cycle and ovulation. Menstrual cycle, you already know what is menstruation, menstrual discharge. The end of a menstrual cycle is seen with blood discharged from the vagina of the female. So the interval of days between 2 successive menstrual discharge through the vagina or the female reproductive system is called the menstrual cycle. And the menstrual cycle takes 28 days. At the 14th day of the menstrual cycle, ovulation takes place. And ovulation is the release of egg from the ovary to the oviduct. But before the ovulation will take place, now premature eggs that we call primary oocytes are enclosed within some nutritive cells, cells that gives it food, which are called granular cells. And this, the collective name for the nutritive cells and the primary oocyte is follicle. Then at the later stage, the primary oocyte becomes developed into secondary oocyte and becomes more mature. And the follicle becomes filled up with certain fluid. And the egg is pushed to one corner. Then a bulge is seen around the follicle. So at this time, so you can see the picture of what I'm talking about here. This is the primary oocyte. This is the granular cells around it. This is collectively called follicle. After a while, the follicle becomes filled up with a watery fluid and making the primary oocyte, which is now secondary oocyte, to be pushed to one corner. There is one hormone called follicle stimulating hormone. That follicle stimulating hormone will cause the now. By the time the secondary oocyte has been formed, the follicle is now called Graafian follicle. Now, hormone called follicle stimulating hormone will now cause the wall of the Graafian follicle to rupture so that the egg will be released and ovulation will take place. Ovulation is the release of egg from the ovary to the oviduct. Now, mind you, when that has taken place, the remaining part of the Graafian follicle will now form a yellowish solid called corpus luteum. And the formation of this corpus luteum is aided by one hormone called luteinizing hormone, that is hormone that brings about luteum formation. So we have learned that in hormones. You can watch the videos of our hormone to really understand what we are talking about in this place. So that is, I said, as the primary oocyte develops, we said something here. So now menstrual cycle So we have explained all this one. Okay, now let's go. We now said that as the primary oocyte develops into secondary oocyte, the follicle becomes filled up with certain fluid, which then pushes the egg to a corner so that a kind of bulge is observed on the surface of the follicle. The follicle containing a secondary oocyte is then said to be what? Called Graafian follicle. No more follicle. Now let's move on. Now ovulation. If they have to define ovulation, we would say ovulation is the release of mature egg from the ovary to the oviduct. And we have said that it occurs on the 14th day of the menstrual cycle. For ovulation to occur, the release of follicle stimulating hormone by anterior pituitary gland in the egg must take place, so that follicle stimulating hormone will not cause the Graafian follicle that show it to rupture, so that the egg can be released. So take note of that. And I've told you earlier that the remains of the Graafian follicle forms a yellow solid called corpus luteum, and the hormone responsible for the formation of this corpus luteum is what? Luteinizing hormone. So we have said that. Now, what is menstruation and what is menopause? Menstruation is the blood discharge out of the vagina in every 28 days of the calendar. When ovulation occurs, one egg now will be waiting in the oviduct for the sperm for 2 days or 3 days in the oviduct unfertilized. Then when it remains here unfertilized, there is no sexual intercourse. The egg will now break down into rotting dead body, occupied with what? With the breakdown of the extrauterine endometrium. Then this will now flow down with blood discharge, and the extrauterine endometrium will break down to release blood to mix with this stinky thing, and everything will wash down. The journey, the downward movement now starts from the 16th day to the 17th day of the menstrual cycle. So on the 28th day, the blood starts discharging, and that period of menstruation can take about 3 to 5 days. Now, what about when fertilization? What is fertilization? Fertilization is the fusion, the combination, the attachment of the nucleus of the sperm or the male gamete and the nucleus of the female gamete to form a zygote. When ovulation has taken place, egg is there, coitus takes place, sperm swim to the oviduct. Then the nucleus of the sperm will fuse with the nucleus of the egg, and the genetic materials of the male and the female will be mixed together, and one cell will be formed, and that cell is called a zygote. Now, what I want to tell you, before this will happen, the egg is protected by a protein structure called the zona pellucida. I told you earlier on in the previous video that the acrosome on the sperm produces hydrolytic enzyme that dissolves the outer coat of the egg and makes the sperm to swim and enters inside the wall, inside the egg, and fertilizes it. After fertilizing, a zona pellucida will be formed, closing every other sperm. So out of millions of sperms that are swimming from the vagina towards the oviduct, only one of them succeeds in entering. And when it enters, the gate, the zona pellucida, is closed, and no other sperm can penetrate to fertilize that egg again. So take note of that. Then you can see there thousands of sperms coming here. So only one succeeds to enter inside. So after it has entered, the zona pellucida does what? Closes. So you have it there. Then the developmental stages after implantation, after fertilization are cleavage, implantation, parturition, and lactation. We start with cleavage. The word cleavage means to break down. Only one cell is zygote. That cell will now continue to undergo mitosis. Mitosis, one cell divided into 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32, 32 to 64. It begins to multiply, and it will be coming back. Multiply and come back. Multiply and come back. That is cleavage. So as cleavage occurs, the zygote develops into 2 to 4 like that, and the many cells now. When it is only one cell, is zygote. When it is many cells, it forms embryo. That is what we call embryo. So you have to know the difference between embryo, zygote, and foetus. Now, the embryo later develops into 3 layers. The outermost layer which is called ectoderm, the middle layer which is called mesoderm, and the innermost layer which is called endoderm. The ectoderm later forms the skin and the muscular system. The mesoderm later forms the circulatory system and the skeletal system. Then the endoderm later forms the alimentary canal. So a fully formed baby inside the womb is called a foetus. A foetus. So a foetus now consists of the actual embryo surrounded with three membranous layers. These three membranous layers, you have the innermost layer, which is called amnion, the middle layer called chorion, and the outermost layer called allantoids. And inside the amnion, there is a fluid inside which the baby bathes. That fluid is called amniotic fluid. Now, implantation, then at the navel of the baby, there is a cord called the umbilical cord. This umbilical cord is connected. Now, it contains the blood vessels, the vein and the artery from the foetus, and it forms a capillary inside a connector to the mother that is called the placenta. So we are coming to talk about what is implantation. Implantation is the attachment of the foetus to the wall of the uterus at the point called placenta. Then the placenta houses separate blood vessels of the fetus and the mother. I want to tell you, the blood stream of the mother and that of the baby does not mix. And that is why it is possible for a mother to be HIV positive and give birth to a child that is free from HIV, because their blood is not mixing. The blood capillary of the mother and that of the fetus, they are separated by a plate called the trophocyst or trophoblast inside the placenta. Take note of that. For implantation to take place, the extrauterine endometrium lining of the womb, like we have discussed in the previous video, will be thickened. So then implantation will take place. Like I said, the placenta extends outward to form the umbilical cord, connecting the fetus at the navel to the mother. So you will see that. Then I have said before that exchange of nutrients and air occurs between the fetus and the mother by diffusion through the placenta without their blood mixing. So you will see that the blood capillary of the mother and that of the fetus, they are separated by trophoblast in the placenta. So anytime the child has a nose, he cannot breathe. He has mouth, he cannot eat. If he opens his mouth, amniotic fluid will enter the mouth. Now, what happens? Part of the nutrient from the mother, from the bloodstream of the mother, will diffuse across the trophoblast to enter inside the bloodstream of the baby. The same thing, oxygen needed for respiration will leave the blood of the mother, pass through the trophoblast to mix with the blood of the fetus. Then the waste product of metabolism, like carbon dioxide, will leave the blood of the child and enter inside the bloodstream of the mother. So the mother is removing the waste product of herself and that of the fetus together. Then I've told you that the embryo is enclosed with amnion, which is innermost layer, chorion, middle, and allantoids. Then take note. Now, we have said something here. What are the functions of the amniotic fluid? Now, you see, the baby is just bouncing. Just imagine a sachet of pure water and you have a baby inside. If you throw the pure water down, the mechanical effect cannot be felt by the baby. The baby, though, the amniotic fluid acts as shock absorber and therefore preventing mechanical injury between the fetus and the uterine wall. Maybe an accident happened, the mother is thrown up and down, maybe the husband beats the wife, you can even use a stick to hit the belly of the pregnant woman. The child is bouncing inside the amniotic fluid. Another function of the amniotic fluid is that when the child is about to be born, then the amnion bursts. Then the water, which is slippery, comes down and makes the cervix to be slippery, so that the frictional force is prevented. The child can be born easily. So that is that. You can see all I've been talking about here. This is the placenta. This is the umbilical cord. This is the womb, the uterus. There's one wire where they asked them to draw this. There was one practical, I think last 2 years or last year, biology. One of the specimen was what? The womb. The womb of containing fetus, the picture of the womb. So you can see here You can refer to that question later to talk about this. The foetus, so you can see the amnion, you can see the yolk sac that is connected to the umbilical cord. This is the navel of the baby, the foetus. This is the uterus. So you can see everything here. This is the placenta. The placenta. You can see the blood of the mother, the capillary of the mother, and the capillary of the child, not mixing together. So this is the vagina. This is the vulva, where the child will come out later. So that is that. So you can see this is an elaborate diagram of what you have explained. This is the foetus. This is the amniotic fluid, and this is the placenta. This is the umbilical cord. So take note of that. Then we have gestation. What is gestation? Gestation is the period of pregnancy. It begins with fertilization and ends with parturition. Parturition means giving birth. Now, at fertilization, the hormone called progesterone prevents further ovulation to take place. So once one egg has been fertilized, another egg cannot be fertilized. That is why when a female gets pregnant, she does not menstruate again, because progesterone will prevent further release of egg. But there is when we get to multiple births, we will talk more. When there is under secretion of progesterone, now there is the possibility of a mother that is pregnant to still be seeing her menstruation, because there is no progesterone that will stop further release of egg after fertilization. Then that egg, if the woman does not sleep with her husband, then we menstruate, then the egg will not be fertilized, it will break down, then the woman will be seeing her menstruation. In Yoruba land, a child that is born when the mother is menstruating is called Ilori. So if you are Ilori, go and know the meaning of your name. That's the meaning of your name there. So now, take note of that. Then, at the early stage of gestation, the fetus, they are uprightly positioned. They are standing like man, standing their head up. But towards the parturition, the fetus have to turn downward. So you will see the picture of arm, see now, is downward here for the child to be born. So that is that. Now, multiple birth. Multiple birth refers to the birth of two or more babies by the same mother, carrying them in the same uterus. Yes, there are three types of multiple birth. We have identical twins, we have non-identical twins, which is also known as fraternal twins. We also have Siamese twins, which we are going to talk about later. Now, we are looking at identical twins. Identical twins are formed from one egg. I've seen a question. They will say, what brings about formation of identical twins? One egg and one sperm. So, but when one egg is fertilized, during cleavage, that one egg is supposed to split into two. After splitting into two, they need to come back. But they split into two and they refuse to come back. They will not be developing separately. And that will bring about identical twins. The twins will share the same placenta and they will be of the same sexes. And they will look alike in all respects. That is identical twins. Now, non-identical twins. This one is called due to undersecretion of progesterone after fertilization. So that there will be no progesterone to stop ovulation, to stop the release of another egg after one egg has been fertilized. And that will now make the woman to be menstruating. If that woman that is menstruating and sleeps with her husband, then one of the released egg after the pregnancy will be fertilized by another sperm. And so in non-identical twins now, two sperms fertilize two eggs, and they will be formed in different parts of the uterus, and they will have different placentas. They may be of the same sexes or of different sexes, but they will look different. One will be bigger than the other one because it has been severally implanted before the other one is formed. And there is a possibility for a mother to give birth to twins in which one of them is a bastard and one is of the father. Because if one implantation has taken place and there is undersecretion of progesterone and this woman is still carrying out ovulation, if this woman goes to sleep with another man, the sperm of another man will fertilize that new egg and form another baby, which will be formed. And at the time of birth, due to the forceful action of the uterine rhythmic contraction, the two babies will be giving birth to the same day. as non-identical twins. One of them is of the father, the other one is a bastard. So please take note of that. Now, then the Siamese twins, you can see them here, conjoined twins in which their body are joined together. This one, during cleavage, there is now the zygote is supposed to split into 2 to 4, 4 to 8 like that, but there is partial division. Cytokinesis take place partially. You want to know the meaning of cytokinesis? Go and watch meiosis and mitosis. Now, partial cytokinesis occur, and that particular part of the cytoplasm that are still joined together, now when it continue to develop, will be part of the babies that are joined together. You can see these various pictures of Siamese twins here. Now, we have, these are Siamese twins. They are conjoined twins from birth. They are identical twins, and the zygote that forms them divide but fail to have complete cytokinesis. So that is what happens in their case. Now, parturition. Parturition is the act of giving birth to young ones after the gestation period, after the period of pregnancy. Parturition begins with the release of one hormone produced by the posterior pituitary gland. That hormone is called oxytocin. That oxytocin brings about the rhythmic contraction of the uterine wall. The wall of the uterus will be contracting inside, outside, until the amnion, colon, and allantois burst, and the amniotic fluid flows down. And as it flows down, what happens? The pushing of the uterine wall pushes the baby out of the cervix. The cervix also widens and relaxes, and the child is born. Parturition has taken place. So the continuous contraction of the uterus bursts the amniotic sac and causes the amnion to flow out of the vagina through the cervix. Then fontanelis. So when you see a baby's head, you will see that there is certain part of the head that will be breathing, going in and out. That is fontanelle. That is a cartilage, a soft bone that is there. It is there. The function of that fontanelle is to allow the head of the baby to be squeezed, so that it becomes small, to size the cervix and the vagina in order to come out. So immediately the baby is delivered, the umbilical cord is cut, and the placenta is born out of the mother too. So when the baby takes his first breath, he cries aloud. But if a baby does not cry, every effort will be made to make the baby cry so that the baby will not die. And a lot of blockages will have to be removed out. You can see the baby now. Look at the position down. When the cervix, when the oxytocin is released, then the cervix opens, then the head comes out. The fontanellis allows the head to squeeze, and it comes out, and the baby is born. Then the umbilical cord is cut, and later the placenta and the umbilical cord is removed. So you can see here, the head of the baby is coming here. Then after a while, you see, usually this cervix is, the diameter is usually measured until when it gets to about 10 centimeters. That is when the baby's head is ready to come out, and the baby is born. Then the placenta is born also. So lactation is the period of milk secretion from the mammary gland of a pregnant woman. So, and the first milk that comes out of the breast after parturition is called colostrum. This colostrum is thick yellowish fluid, and it is rich in proteins, vitamins, sugar, and mineral salts. So it enriches the baby. So it's a very nutritious milk. So, and the production of milk, lactation, occurs when an hormone called prolactin, released by the anterior pituitary gland, is secreted. Under secretion of prolactin brings about low milk production, and that is why you see some people, they will give birth, they will not be able to give the child milk because there is undersecretion of prolactin. I am drawing the curtains here. I'm stopping here. If you have any question, go to the comment section and ask. And if you are still confused, you want to ask after I've responded, you can WhatsApp me on 070 30 39 35 31. I remain my humble self, Afe Ademola Johnson. I commit you into the hand of God. See you until I see you again. God bless you, and bye for now. Thank you very much. But please do not forget to subscribe. Click the subscription button and share this video. Share it. Don't be selfish. Share it. Let your friends also have access to this good information. So, and when you subscribe, you will have access to every videos I'll be posting again. So God will bless you. One more time, if there's anything you want me, any contribution you have that will make me to improve next time, please put in the comment section. God bless you. Bye for now. Do have a fruitful day. Thank you.